I know everything has its time, and you cannot compete with destiny, is what I say. What I thought I wanted when I was younger, it wasn't my time to have. I wanted to work with Calvin Klein. I did the fashion shows, but I never did the ads. So it took me 34 years to do an ad. And I said, okay, it's okay, that's my time.
Certainly felt Wes's absence, and at the same time, clearly felt his presence. Every time I walk on these movies, I feel his presence and his power and his input and his influence and everything that he did to make these movies amazing. Also, I don't think it's a giveaway to say that we do return to the original house. So to walk onto that set it blew my mind because the set decorators did an incredible job. It's identical. And people will see there's odes to Wes in the movie, and that was there when I walked in. And so, yeah, I think both Courtney, David, and I each individually had a good cry when we walked onto that set.
Now when I work, I feel more like I'm working for the culture. It's not like before when it was just for me. And my culture includes the continent of Africa. It includes the diaspora in all places in the world, because I realize that we were so not included that I want to make sure that I can do my part before I exit.
You've been so honest over the years about your ups and your downs, and, people ask you about, do you have a temper? Are you tough?
I feel that I've learned not be in denial with who you are. Don't blame people for things that go wrong in your life. You have to take that responsibility as yourself. And not be in denial that, okay, I had an issue. No, embrace that you had an issue and deal with it. You know what I mean?
So no regrets. No regrets.
No regrets, but lessons, understood the lessons that I had to go through in my life. And of anyone I've ever hurt, I make amends. All a work in progress, and I accept that. Listen, my journey has been incredibly colorful. I wouldn't want a journey to be like this. And person's journey that interests me, the journey that's been like this. But I'm not in denial of it.
Deep-rooted trauma and hatred of life.
The reason you fell is because you had these rubber tights.
Yes!
This is what Andrea said. And your thighs caught together, and so you wiggled on the shoe, and you only got to wiggle slightly, and you're over.
Like a way she don't brown down. I probably shouldn't be around you.
Naomi Campbell is officially in the spotlight again, and this time, it's not for the runway. Newly unredacted Epstein-related files have thrust her name into public attention in a way that no one expected, reigniting rumors that have lingered for years. While the world focused on bigger names tied to Epstein, Naomi somehow managed to slip under the radar. Until now. Suddenly, every mention of her in those documents is being dissected, and social media is buzzing with questions that no one can ignore. The heat on Naomi isn't just simmering, it's turning into a wildfire. So why is her name making headlines now? The Department of Justice has been slowly releasing documents, many previously redacted, and Naomi's mentions appear more frequently than some expected. It's not that she's being accused of anything outright at this point, but the repeated references, combined with her history of elite social connections, have sparked fresh scrutiny. People are asking, was Naomi just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or is there more beneath the surface? And as always, when questions linger long enough, the internet fills in the gaps. Naomi's proximity to Epstein and his inner circle has long been a talking point among online commentators. Photos, guest lists, and flight logs paint a picture of someone who frequented the same elite events and parties. While that alone doesn't indicate wrongdoing, the repetition of these encounters has made casual observers uneasy. Every reappearance at high-profile gatherings only fuels speculation that she was too close for comfort, even if no formal charges or convictions exist. When patterns like this emerge, it's natural for the public to start connecting dots, even if those dots aren't proof in themselves. Then there are the letters attributed to Epstein that have circulated online. Some contain language suggesting certain individuals were involved in ways that raised eyebrows. These documents, while not verified evidence of illegal activity, have been interpreted in countless ways by social media users. Context is often stripped away, leaving the most shocking interpretations in the spotlight. Naomi's name, unfortunately, appears repeatedly in these letters. And while legal experts stress that repetition isn't proof, online audiences rarely wait for careful analysis. They see a familiar name and a sensational claim, and a narrative starts to form almost instantly. Public response has also played a key role in why skepticism has grown. Naomi has spoken out, distancing herself from Epstein, expressing support for victims, and highlighting her own experiences with predators. Her statements are clear, measured, and empathetic. But to some, they feel insufficient given the sheer number of connections she had with controversial figures over the years. The debate online quickly shifted to association versus involvement, a conversation Naomi now finds herself in the middle of, regardless of the truth of her actions. And this isn't the first time Naomi's public image has been scrutinized for her associations. Her 2010 testimony regarding Charles Taylor and blood diamonds raised questions about credibility when statements shifted over time. Initially, Naomi claimed the diamonds were sent by unknown intermediaries, later acknowledging a connection to Taylor. These inconsistencies, whether intentional or not, left a mark on the public perception of her judgment. Over the years, each time a new controversy appeared, that moment resurfaced as evidence for skeptics. Naomi has been too close to power to be naive. Fast forward to 2023, Naomi's friendship with Diddy became another focal point. She had been publicly praising him for years, calling him an inspiration, and sharing intimate glimpses into their social life. Yet, when Cassie filed a high-profile lawsuit against Diddy, Naomi's sudden removal of posts and social media traces of the two together did not go unnoticed. Timing in the court of public opinion often matters more than the content itself. For many observers, this was another moment where Naomi's actions appeared calculated, further fueling speculation. And then there are the whispers of Hollywood insiders and third-party claims involving figures like Weinstein. Multiple accounts have painted a picture of elite gatherings, where Naomi was present alongside other powerful personalities. Again, presence is not proof, but for viewers, repeated patterns of association create a narrative that's hard to ignore. Over time, her name became linked in public discourse with a series of high-profile controversies, each adding layers to a story that seems to repeat itself. So why does this resurgence feel different from the whispers of the past? The unredacted documents provide a clarity that was missing in earlier releases. They allow patterns to emerge more clearly, connecting names, dates, and events in a way that wasn't possible before. Combined with social media memory and the public's evolving intolerance for silence around powerful figures, the scrutiny Naomi faces today feels unavoidable. Whereas she once could outrun rumors, the environment has shifted. This time, the narrative is catching up to her. This is what makes the current moment feel truly unprecedented for Naomi Campbell. For decades, she has existed in a strange balance. Untouchable in her glamour, celebrated for her talent, and yet constantly surrounded by whispers, speculation, and scandal. Over the years, she has built a career not just on her supermodel status, but on her ability to navigate the most exclusive social circles with poise, charm, and a keen sense of timing. A carefully worded statement here, a well-placed social media post there, and the world would move on, rarely questioning her judgment or motives. She mastered the art of staying ahead of controversy, of outrunning it before it could catch her. But today feels different. The landscape has shifted, and Naomi is facing a level of scrutiny that simply didn't exist in her earlier years. Newly unredacted documents, combined with an internet that never forgets, have created a pressure cooker environment that her usual strategies cannot easily deflect. Online discourse has evolved. People are no longer content to accept a denial or a vague statement. They are connecting dots, building timelines, and noticing patterns that were previously hidden beneath layers of secrecy. Each new piece of information, every mention of her in association with high-profile figures, every photo resurfacing from elite gatherings, adds weight to the narrative, whether or not legal consequences follow. The digital age has made reputation a fragile commodity. A single hint of association can linger for years, amplified by social media algorithms, and even decades-old actions can be reinterpreted in ways that feel damning. Naomi's name has always carried weight, but now that weight comes with heightened scrutiny. The patterns that were once dismissed as coincidence are being pieced together like a puzzle, and suddenly, her decades of elite networking are under a magnifying glass. Every public appearance, every friendship, every connection is being examined, not in isolation, but as part of a larger story that the public is eager to read. Ultimately, this story is about far more than one individual. It's about the way proximity to power, repeated associations, and public perception can converge to create a perfect storm. Naomi's career has been defined by her talent, charisma, and influence, but it has also been shaped by the environments she moved through and the people she associated with. In an age where memory is permanent and digital footprints never disappear, even the most carefully managed persona can become vulnerable. History has shown us that when high-profile names come under scrutiny, the ripple effect often touches those connected to them, whether they are directly involved or not. The court of public opinion operates on pattern recognition and perception as much as facts, and Naomi's situation is a stark example of that reality. For decades, she has survived by staying several steps ahead, navigating elite circles with grace, influence, and timing. But the rules of the game have changed. Today, her past and present collide in ways that can no longer be contained by a press release or a social media statement. The files are public, the patterns are visible, and the silence that once protected her has disappeared. Every connection is scrutinized, every action analyzed, and the world is watching more closely than ever before. This is a moment where reputation, influence, and perception converge, and for Naomi Campbell, the outcome remains uncertain. In the end, this isn't just a story about a supermodel or a set of unverified claims. It's about power, proximity, and the inescapable lens of public scrutiny. Naomi Campbell's story reminds us that when influence meets visibility, the world rarely forgets, even if the law never intervenes. And as we watch the narrative unfold, it's impossible not to wonder, when someone has run from controversy for decades, what happens when there's nowhere left to run? Only time will tell how this story continues to evolve. But one thing is certain, the world is watching every move, every connection, and every statement. Naomi's past and present are colliding in ways that highlight the fragility of reputation, no matter how powerful or untouchable someone might seem. And in a world where information spreads faster than ever, even a whisper can become a headline. If you found this deep dive into Naomi Campbell's story revealing, shocking, or even just thought-provoking, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us know you want more stories like this. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update when new details come to light. The world of fame, scandal, and secrets is always evolving, and we'll be here to bring you the full picture, carefully unpacked, fully analyzed, and told in a way that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, because the story is far from over.